That's right. I'm doing a Renegade video. I'm actually pretty excited because this is the first time I've driven the Renegade at length in the 4 years that we've been on YouTube. And I cannot wait to put this little Jeep through its paces, do a little off-road while we're at it. Those sway bars sound ridiculous. I cannot believe he has been putting up with them for this long. And that actually brings us into what this video is about. I've been telling George for the longest time to try to remove his front sway bar, which is making all this racket to begin with. I removed front and rear sway bars in my Subaru Baja, and I have been driving it that way for about 3 years with no problem. The only addition to the driving has been the excessive body roll. It's been proven a bunch of times on YouTube already with different vehicles that removing your front sway bar actually improves your off-road capabilities by a decent margin. But the Renegade is on a short wheelbase and it's very top heavy. This SUV is very tall. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how the vehicle reacts with its front sway bars removed. I need to find some rough terrain so you guys can really hear how bad these end links have gotten. And like I said, I don't know if it's the end links themselves or if it's the mounting point, but I would bet on the latter of those two options. Okay, so first off, I've got some ramps. I'm gonna try to put the front on ramps, see how that leans. Then I think I'll put a ramp in the back and in the front, try to get 2 wheels off the ground that are caddy corner, and then take the sway bar links out and see what she looks like then. You can already see how topsy-turvy she already gets just getting that one tire up the ground. You can see that she already kind of has that rollover feel to it since that sway bar is pushing that wheel down. That wheel is coming up a lot, and you guys can see it does not take much effort now to shake this thing. I'm not fully sure how the drive system on the Renegade works. It has its 4-wheel drive center lock. So people say it's all-wheel drive, but I think getting that back tire up off the ground and evening the Renegade out will also show us how the drive system is going to respond in an articulation moment when it would be more beneficial having that sway bar removed. First up, obviously, 4-wheel drive lock, or I guess we'll do auto first. Let's see if that makes a difference. Four-wheel drive lock and snow mode, why not? Let's see what that does. So we've basically seen that she really does not like it having wheels up in the air at all. So I don't think we want to remove the rear sway bar. From my research, it actually doesn't change too much of the rear articulation. But I've got a feeling that if we remove the front sway bar, hopefully we'll see those benefits that people are talking about. So interestingly enough, that top one is not budging. She is locked in. But looking at this one, and I don't think it's a matter of just being tight, because you can kind of see, well, not when I'm holding this, that it has, like, there is so much free play just in that. So even if it's tight, enough free play in it to make it move that much. So the problem might actually be the sway bar itself. I think that sway bar is all wallowed out, but we'll find out in a second. But since we're already testing sway bar removal, I guess, you know, we can see how the drive system responds to that too. see how much plays in that sway bar now. Oh my God, look at that. I was able to get both of the top of the links undone, and actually the top one's a little wallered out too, a little reamed out. The bottom one is really reamed out. Same on that side, top is bad, but surprisingly the sway bar on that side, the hole is not elongated. So that's still 3 points of contact making that horrible sway bar noise. So it's not actually the end link's fault, it's just wallered out metal. I guess 100,000 miles, that'll do that to your suspension. Front ramp first, one ramp, see how much flex we have in the vehicle now, if there was any big differences or not. Well, that's crazy. You kind of expected this, right? That amount of flex, and this tire is no longer off the ground. So going over rocky terrain, that's quite the difference. And it doesn't really have that much give to it anymore. Whereas before you could see there was a big old balance to it. But next we'll put staggering ramps to try to even it out and see how the system is going to respond to having that much flex in it, because I know that tire was spinning earlier. But yeah, this is crazy. Almost at the top of the ramps. Let's see. Boy, it's almost getting there. Well, I guess with enough speed you can kind of get it done. There you can see I'm starting to dig myself a second hole. But I do think if you have enough speed, you will fully get up the ramp. Because, yeah, that wheel's pretty much off the ground too. Maybe if it was the Trailhawk, it would actually have the drive management needed to figure this out. As far as this Altitude Edition Renegade goes, sway bar removal helps out a little bit. You can definitely see, you know, each wheel is tucked up in the respective wheel wells, and then in back it's got a loss of traction. At least with the four-wheel drive lock on this Renegade, it doesn't quite have enough gumption to crawl up the ramps, but with enough speed you can definitely go up it. I don't want to give it any more speed than I already have and fly off the ramps, but I think with that concluded, we'll tie up those sway bar end links and we'll go do a body roll test and see how she drives. First note, those sway bar links are not knocking around, rattling around. So that's pretty nice. But as for the body roll, I guess we'll find out. Coming back to center, yeah, she's definitely got a lot more play in it now, not having that sway bar link in there. So I think someone who owns a Renegade, if they wanted to remove their sway bars, they could definitely acclimate to the way the vehicle's going to respond. You still have your rear sway bar, it's just the front gets a little bit more squirrely for obvious reasons. My honest opinion, for a daily driver, I don't know if I would permanently remove the sway bar. I have to do some research online to see if the Renegade actually has quick disconnect sway bars or not. So that's definitely worth investigating. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna run out of gas. Bring it around town, baby. All right, to the gas station before I run out.